Reginald said about lunch hours, always remember people's names. Lunch hours, don't eat. He says, don't eat, just food. And that's a wonderful mentality to get. You know, I go regularly with my wife to the mall. I don't go to the mall or the supermarket to buy food. I go to the supermarket to give out some tracts, and while we're there, we get some food. Go to the mall not to get some clothes. I go to the mall to give out some tracts, maybe witness to someone, and while we're there, we get some clothes. That's all temporal junk. We're talking eternal, and it's a mindset to take advantage of every minute of every day. So please consider seriously open-air preaching. If you say, I can't do that, you qualify for it. So many of my friends, when they came and listened to open-air preaching, said, I could never do that. That just God says, okay, you're the one. You say, I can never do it, God will pick you up and He'll make you feel convicted and guilty and drive you to it. Because we're talking about sinners going to hell. And you've got a voice, and you can lift it up as a trumpet and show these people their transgression. How many of you get our weekly update? Could you just give me a show of hands? Okay, if you don't, this is completely free. Go to livingwaters.com, sign up for our weekly update. There's a Splurge by Kirk, and Kirk introduces these. Every week there's a video clip of someone being witnessed to, some other person being witnessed to. It's all really the same, just different people, different introductions, but they'll really help you to learn how to share your faith as you see it done and hear it done. And almost every time when I witness to someone, I found the most effective way to bring up the gospel without bringing up the gospel is to ask someone, what do you think happens when someone dies? Mark Cahill's big on that. I'm very big on it. Because what you do is bring up the subject without mentioning God, Jesus, the Bible, heaven, hell, repentance, the blood of Christ, or any of those things that make you and the person feel uncomfortable. You just say, you just get the person's name. Fred. Hey, Fred. How you doing? Fred, what do you think happens when someone dies? And you'll hear him say something like this. Boy, I don't know. So do you think about it? Yeah, all the time. Do you think there's a heaven? I hope so. Just hearing him talk like that will dissipate your fears. He's not an anti-Christian, anti-fundamental, Bible-bashing, he's not like that at all. He's an average American. 87% of Americans want under God kept in the Pledge of Allegiance. That means 8.7 out of every 10 people you meet is not going to be offended by what you say to them. So just say to people, what do you think happens when someone dies? And let them talk. Just keep probing, asking questions, and hearing them answer. It'll dissipate your fears. You hear them say, I hope I go to heaven. You think, oh, I have got the gift of discernment. I can look at any human being and know what they're thinking. For instance, I see a guy sitting down. I look at him and think, he hates Christians. I can tell. He's got a jaw like that. He's a teeth gritter. He's just waiting for some fundamental Bible-bashing person to come up and he's going to wring their neck. I can tell. He hates Christians. Look at him. Big hands, around my neck. Yeah. I go up and say, how you doing? He says, good. Say, hey, I've got a question for you, Tom. What do you think happens when someone dies? He says, that's weird. I was just thinking about that. And I think, man, I'm so glad I didn't listen to my fears. Because that every person you look at is going to look like Goliath. Even a little old lady with a woman, she's Goliath. It's just the father of lies. So don't listen. Don't listen to your fears. Just do it. I'm not going to speak for too long, but let's look at the Bible. Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 6.